Hello, you are listening to the OmniTalk Fast 5, brought to you in partnership with Microsoft, the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, Takeoff, and Sezzle. The OmniTalk Fast 5 podcast is the podcast that we hope makes you feel a little smarter, but most importantly, a little happier each week too. Today is July 28th, 2022. I am your host, Ann Mazinga.
And I'm Chris Walton.
And we are here once again to discuss all the top headlines making waves in the world of omnichannel retailing in this pre-OmniTalk vacation version of the Fast Five. Chris, are you excited for vacation week?
I'm super excited. We're once again embarking on the OmniTalk tradition of shutting down the office during the first week of August because no one gives a crap about content during the first week of August, least of all what's happening in retail during this period of time.
Right.
And so, I'm excited. You're going someplace cool, I would say, in more ways than one. Why don't you tell the listeners?
I'm doing, the movie The Holiday
of course,
with Cameron Diaz and Kate
movie
Winslet
with the
and
passion.
Jude Law.
Bring the hate mail, people. I hate that movie, but
I think you might be alone in that.
I can't stand that movie. It also brings back really bad memories. But anyway.
Okay. That's for a later podcast, I guess. But so my family and I, we are house swapping with a family in Iceland.
Yes.
And we're going to stay in their house in Reykjavik, and they're going to stay in our house in Minneapolis for a week.
Wow. How did that all come about? Like, how does one house swap, Anne?
Well, there's plenty of jokes here. Everybody go ahead, make your jokes.
Please do.
No, you don't swap spouses that we're aware of
I wasn't even thinking
but
that,
maybe.
But yeah.
No, there's a site called Home Exchange that I found last year,
right.
and it's basically like Airbnb, but instead of like swapping money in exchange for staying somewhere, you can open your house up to do a swap. And we met the couple. They're already in Minneapolis. We met them this week. Like, I'm super pumped.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be
And
really
what's
fun.
on the agenda? I think puffins are on the agenda, right?
Okay.
You're going to see some puffins?
Yep. My 5-year-old wants puffins. So we're driving 3 hours to go see some puffins, and they better be freaking amazing puffins for that drive.
Hey, eating puffins amazing in my book.
Some snorkeling at the where the continental divide comes together, like the tectonic plates come together. I don't know. Lots of exciting stuff. We're packing our own food, though. I've been advised to bring our own food because stuff is really expensive and my kids might not like it.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the cold version of Hawaii to me. It's like this cool island, beautiful locale, but like you can't get food, so it's really expensive and you got to be thoughtful about that.
I mean, I'll report back. We'll see what all of Reykjavik and Iceland's retail wonders have to unfold for me.
Right. Okay.
You never know. I could be posting like a video of a gas station like with checkout free technology in Iceland.
I have no idea what we're going to see from your trip, but God, I'm going to be tuned in. All right, well, let's get to this week's show. This week's review comes to us from M. Shearer. Here is what M. Shearer had to say. 5 stars again, Anne. Highly recommend. Chris and Anne provide terrific insight into a variety of new and innovative technologies impacting retail. Part of my regular listen list every week. Yes, I love that. That's so good. So good. They're rolling in lately. Yeah. They really are.
It's probably 'cause I've been putting a lot of pressure on people. Like, you like us? You've been listening? Leave us a review.
Yeah, right? I mean, come on.
I'm not even going to be
nice.
nice.
A little something for the effort, right?
I know. I'm not even going to be nice anymore about it. Like, please leave us a review. You guys, just do it. Please tell us what you think.
But you get your Apple handle in there every week.
Yes, we want to hear what you think. So heart the podcast on Spotify. On Google, Amazon Music, you are on the platform already, hitting listen. Just leave us a review.
That's right, Ann.
We love it.
All right, Ann. Today's Fast Five is brought to you again with the help and support of our good friends at Grocery Shop.
Oh, yeah.
Are you a retailer brand thinking about attending Grocery Shop this year? Well, don't even think about doing so without using our promo code specifically for OmniTalk listeners.
Yes.
Just go to groceryshop.com and enter promo code RBOT 1950, that's RBOT 1950 for your special discounted rate.
RBOT 1950 kind of sounds like one of the things from Stranger Things. Like, we have to get to the RBOT 1950 in order to make sure that 11 can time travel
to the mind.
You're full on
dorking out in this podcast. I love it. I love it. No, it does. It feels like it's perfect for us, too. I love that they made that code for us. RBOT 1950. Like, what the heck? It's like what is it? What's the George Lucas movie? THX whatever 1000.
You've gone nerd beyond what I can comprehend.
All right, well, let's get back to it. Let's get this back on the rails. In today's Fast Five, we've got news on Best Buy's new 5,000 square foot store concept.
Yes.
Glossier expanding into Sephora. Target's plans to build more sortation centers. Amazon Fresh price matching Tesco in the UK. But first, we take off with our very own OmniTalk headline, and that is our recap of our trip to Madrid to see Zara's newest flagship store. And
that's right, Chris. For all you loyal OmniTalk fans out there, the video is now live on YouTube and will be in the show notes as well, which gives you all a step-by-step look through what is, in our opinion, one of the best, if not the best,
100%.
omnichannel retailing experiences out there. So some important things for you all to watch in the video if you haven't seen it already. We demo Zara's Pay and Go system.
Yep.
Chris buying the shorts that I think he's got on today. Zara's mobile fitting room reservation system. And also something called a parcel robot from Cleveron that automates in-store pickup in just seconds. But Chris,
yes, Ann.
What are your
What
key
are my
takeaways?
big takeaways?
What are people needing to get out of this video because it's been blowing up on social? Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, and I think it's important for us to cover this because, in social with a video, like you only have so much time to get across the points you want to make. And our job and what we like to do is actually go a little more in depth, particularly in the podcast format, where I think people are a little more apt to listen to that type of thing. For me, the more I'm away from it, God, we were there, 10 days ago now or something
Only
like that?
10 days.
Yeah,
it feels
I know. I have no idea. I've lost track of time. But the more I get away from it, the more I just love it.
Yeah.
And there's 3 reasons why for that. I think one, if you look, it's just a faster Zara experience.
Yep.
Particularly by way of Pay and Go,
yep.
which I love, and the parcel robot. Those are drastic step changes over the Zara experience that requires you to wait in long lines. Second thing I'd say, the use of RFID is so palpable throughout the store.
Absolutely.
That they've only scratched the surface on all of its capabilities in the long run. Particularly its use in the fitting room too, which I know is something you love.
Yep.
Which I'm anxious to see where they go next with that because I think
too.
it could be super cool. And then third for me, it really was omnichannel. And I particularly call it the parcel robot for that because people should know this. Those orders we placed, we placed from the U.S.
Right.
Via their mobile app.
Yeah.
Right.
And we were placing them all the time. You could place them anywhere. You could be anywhere in the world.
Right. But their mobile app worked in the United States
to
coordinate pickup in their flagship store in Madrid, which is something honestly kind of unique and kind of really special. And so, and it worked in seconds. We went there and the video is real. You scan the barcode. That is how quick the package comes out. Right. It's amazing. But,
and we didn't get to show in that video either, but, we ordered shoes. We ordered all sorts of shapes and size packages.
I
and
think
it's
you
just
ordered cologne.
Yeah. Everything can come
maybe
in
a
and
hint
out.
to me, Anne. I don't know that I needed
Perhaps.
I need to smell better.
I really think it's important that you call out the RFID capabilities too, Chris. I'm sorry, all of my friends at Lululemon and Nike and all of you I've been sending this video to because you already have the RFID enabled experiences. This should just be another step in your omnichannel process. And I cannot tell you what an improvement on the overall store experience it had, especially the fitting rooms. I think, being able to just turn something like this on dramatically improves the experience. And I would say, for me, the number one thing was,
the lines.
The lines. Yeah. Just there are everybody that I talk to, every single person who's a Zara shopper, when I tell them that we went on this trip, I'm like, what's your number one friction point about shopping at Zara? They're like, it sucks. I don't know my size. I have to order things online. I get to the store. There's an hour-long line. I have to try on stuff in the middle of the store. That stuff is all eliminated and executed perfectly.
Which is a big deal at Zara. I mean, you're talking 10, 20 mintake of time savings.
Right.
At least.
Right.
At least.
Right.
Because we stayed in one Zara store where we were in line for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
To take back product and buy some stuff. So, all right, Ann, but we can't just leave it at that. Because our good friends at the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, and rightly so, want to push us a little bit on our analysis.
Okay.
And I think this is great. And this is why I love working with these guys. And so their put you on the spot question this week is as follows. Given A&M CRGers Amont Kalbag and Chad Lusk were on the Fast Five in April when this headline first broke and was discussed.
Oh, yes.
We wanted to follow up, given your live shopping experience. What were the biggest examples of quote-unquote surprise and delight that exceeded expectations, as well as, and this is the part I love, surprise and disappoint that still need work between what you read back in April to what you saw in person recently?
Okay. Surprise and delight, we kind of covered this already.
Yep.
I would say fitting rooms, like seeing just how, like I didn't hear about how you could, get up to the fitting room. They're using RFID to like determine exactly how many things I had and then assign a fitting room right away. And just the fact that the reservation actually worked up there and the room was ready was super slick. The only thing that I think I would change about this experience or that I was disappointed about is the returns process for the pickup. Like they do have an online returns kiosk, but it's in a separate spot. And so I guess I'd like to see Zara evolve the concept a little bit around, okay, I'm picking up my parcel here. Do I have 2 fitting rooms right there? Just curtains reserved for try on. And then can I submit a return right in the same spot? So it's all kind of like one experience, not just jointed throughout the store.
That's a really good add.
That would be my only
like
critique, I guess.
Yeah, having the fitting room architecture be part of like the parcel robot pickup experience to help and aid in that, which they're already trying to clue you into like taking the stuff out of packages and for sustainability reasons.
What about you though? What would you?
I mean, my take was like, I think I've already covered the things I love, like pay and go and the parcel robot, blown away. And the parcel robot too, for those that we've said this on social media, but like we couldn't believe how many people were using it. Like we couldn't even shoot video. Like it was just that much a part of the average Zara customer in Madrid's experience.
In 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah,
Like this has only been live since mid-April.
Right. Literally there was somebody coming up to it, every few seconds. Yeah. And it was nuts. But for me, the thing that when I say like how could it be better?
Yeah.
The thing about the pay and go experience where I still have to take off the security tags. That is still problematic to me. It's almost akin to me of like the, hey, missed item in the bagging, skipped item in the bagging cart or whatever the hell the phrase is, which I'm not saying right. But
remove item from bagging.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same feeling that I had. And so I'm like, this has got to evolve. And so for my money, what I would like to see is one of two things. Either the way the tag can fall off with the scan. And once I purchase it, the tags just immediately fall off, which I know people are working on that. Or I'd love to see somebody go all in on RFID and say, let's have a controlled entry and exit where I either get in with my app or get in with my credit card, and we take those tags out of the equation altogether. We use overhead RFID arrays to monitor the inventory going in and out of the store. All the savings that you're going to get from tagging probably could pay for that to a large degree.
Yep.
That's what I want to see next. And I don't understand for the life of me why no one in apparel in a 2,000, 3,000 foot store. This is 82,000 square feet, and for perspective.
Yeah.
Why has no one tried this? Like Gap in your concept stores in San Francisco, try this.
Right. I agree.
Just do it.
I think that's a great idea.
All right, let's keep moving. Best Buy has unveiled what it is calling its first ever small format digital store. Digital first store, to be exact.
Yes.
According to a Best Buy press release, the store is located in North Carolina, and here is what it entails. The store is drastically smaller than a typical Best Buy at only 5,000 square feet. It features a curated selection of best-in-category products from home theater and audio, computing, headphones, wearables, fitness, cell phones, cameras, smart homes, small appliances, and more. The obligatory statement. It has an area for Geek Squad consultation. It will not carry major appliances and other large products, though. But all of those can still be ordered online for pickup at the store, which is an important point. But most notably, it sounds like the store will operate like a scan and go guide shop, whereby items on the floor will be for display only, similar to how Amazon Style works.
Yep.
And when a customer sees something they like, they can use their phone to scan a QR code on any product price tag and send their orders to be picked up at an order pickup counter.
Yes.
Anne, what is your take on this latest effort from the Blue Shirts?
I love this.
You do?
So much. Yeah.
I kind of think I do too.
So I think it's super smart. One of the best things about this that I absolutely love is the lockers on the exterior, so that you have 24/7.
Yeah, is that
they're doing lockers out there. So
Sweet.
like the ones we saw at Luxor One at the pilot store. Kudos to Best Buy for recognizing that this is 100% providing a 24/7 experience for your customers, and then shrinking the store footprint. Yeah, like you don't need to have that giant store for people to get what they want. I think that I'm curious, like, I love that there's scan and go too. So not only do you scan the barcodes like on the higher end prices, but they're having like chargers and all the quick things. You can scan and go and get in and out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that like Zara, Best Buy with this store has figured out how to truly, I hate this sentiment, but meet the customer where they are.
Right.
But they are doing that.
Right.
They have figured out how to give you every single possible opportunity you want. If you want consultation from Geek Squad, if you need help, if you just want to go in and learn about what the best headphones are that you should invest in, the computers, whatever, like that is the purpose of this store. Or I can get in and out and not even have to deal with the store. I love it. Only question I have.
Yeah.
How big is the actual store footprint? Because
Right.
Is 5,000 square feet just the like front of house and what's going on in back of house? Because
how does the back of house work?
How does back of house work? Because I mean, it's not important for the customer necessarily, but if you're going to be able to store and I can ship a refrigerator or a large TV to the store, like how much is warehouse? How much is front of store? Just a nerdy retail geek question, but I'm curious because it depends on like what size footprint they can go into overall.
It's an awesome question, which is why it's a really cool experiment too, and I give them kudos for it. And you know they're doing it slowly and smartly, like one store, which I'm going to talk about in a second, is a juxtaposition that is in stark contrast to some other retailers out there. But you're bringing up a great question because when you have this model where you're acting like a vending machine essentially, that puts a big onus on you to get those products from that back room to that customer really damn quickly.
Yeah.
So the back
quick.
of house probably has to work a little bit different than your average store. But yeah, it'll be fun to watch and check out at some point. We'll have to get out there. The other thing I like about this story though, and I alluded to a little bit, is I like what they're doing in relation to like how Kohl's and Macy's are attacking the small store.
Okay. Tell me more.
Because this is truly different. It's not just a scaled down version of a Best Buy store.
Totally.
And that's basically what Kohl's and Macy's are purporting to do, which confirms to me that their strategies are just like a wing and a prayer at this point. Like they just want people to buy into shopping a smaller box, whereas Best Buy's flipping the script, offering a quite comparable assortment when you get down to what's only carried because you don't need the sales stock on the floor anymore.
Right.
And so mazel tov to them for boldly going where few others would dare and doing it in a stepwise progression, which is always what I give Best Buy credit for. Whereas Kohl's and Macy's are saying, like, we're going to open hundreds of new stores, even though we have no data that shows that anyone actually wants that in the world.
Right.
I have no idea where any of that data is. And so it's just so mind-boggling to me, especially in comparison to Zara, like you brought up last week. Like, why aren't you trying to do anything like what we're talking about in any of these smaller stores?
I still don't know.
Instead of just saying like, oh, you know, you can have 10,000 square feet of a Macy's experience, which generally speaking, no one wants.
Right.
So, or less people want more and more every day. So anyway, rant over, but I think it's an important call out.
All right, let's move on to headline number 3. Glossier is planning to sell its products through Sephora, Chris. Your cloud paint you can now get at Sephora this fall. According to CNBC, beginning next... Oh, sorry. I'm wrong already.
Oh, you
beginning
are.
Next year.
Yes.
Customers will be able to find Glossier's famous Boy Brow and Cloud Paint makeup products, along with several others, at the LVMH-owned Sephora. The move marks Glossier's first ever retail partnership and comes shortly after founder Emily Weiss stepped down as chief executive officer and handed the reins over to Kyle Leahy. Chris.
Yes.
Are you excited about this? I'm
curious. You probably thought I was bummed by this, right? I'm curious. I have no idea what your take is actually, but I actually love this move.
Yeah.
When I first read it, I was like, I was kind of like bummer, a little bit, but I think it's the right move. I mean, as much as Glossier is a great brand, and we've talked about this a lot on the show. It's been a while since we've talked about it, though, so I'll bring it up again, which is Glossier at its core is still a CPG as opposed to being a retailer.
Yep.
So it makes sense to go this route. And the other thing I like about it, it doesn't prevent them from still opening their own stores, particularly in great locations, like where they are now in New York, I think like LA, Miami,
Austin,
even potentially.
Yep.
And also keeping that great direct relationship with their customers, which is what they're famous for. They're fervent fans, right? So to me, it's just a smart diversification play with what on the surface looks like the right best partner for that too.
Totally.
If I take anything away from this in following Glossier for the last 3 or 4 years like we have, it's that DTCs going forward, especially those that lean more into being a CPG versus a retailer, need to stop buying into the whole quote, or air quotes, Joey Tribbiani, we don't want to do wholesale BS that's out there that we heard so exhaustingly. And honestly, you still hear it too.
Yes.
Every new DTC always says that because they think they're going to be different and they're going to, but no, you're not. So just make this part of your long-term strategy from the get-go. It's the smart move.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think Sephora is absolutely the right retail partner to do this with too. It's the higher end experience. I think it'll still, those Sephora associates will still be able to uphold the Glossier experience. That is another big component of going to the stores, is like you have the pink jumpsuits that are like they're helping you, that are passionate about the product. I mean, I think Sephora as a partner makes complete sense. They'll be able to kind of maintain the brand, like, which is the biggest concern of all these DTCs, is like, if I go wholesale, I lose the brand. I don't think they will in Sephora. Even with the stores that they've been opening this year, I think, like you said, in order to reach the growth that they need for people in middle America to be able to have access to their product, for them to continue to grow, to build more stores, to keep doing these very experiential stores that they're interested in doing, they've got to get to more people. More people have to be interested to want to travel to these destinations. 100%. And I think the last point I'll make is Glossier's products are premium products. Right. So if you're going to spend $17 on a boy brow, like, you want to try it. You want to experience
especially
it.
At Matt. Like, especially if you want to increase your reach.
Exactly. Like, even the best TikTok influencers are still make it hard to get over that ledge to like spend that amount of money with, having a friction-filled returns experience also, like having to bring it to somebody else versus being able to now go to Sephora and quickly make that swap out or try before you buy. So 100%. I love it.
That's a great point to close on. All right. Well, headline number 4 is that Target is yet again expanding its fleet of delivery hubs.
Yes.
Building on a story that we at OmniTalk...
I feel like we need the ticker. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news.
Yes, but we did first break this story nationally last year, and kudos to you for actually keying in on it. But CNBC is now reporting that Target will open 3 more sortation centers, 2 in Chicago and 1 in Denver, to cut delivery costs and get online purchases to customers faster. For those of you that will recall, these sortation centers, again, according to CNBC, receive boxed up online orders from stores twice a day. Packages going to the same town or nearby neighborhoods are then batched together to get more of them to customers a day after the order is placed. And a growing number of the sorted packages are then delivered by contract workers who drive for shipped, and some are also sorted and delivered by national carrier partners such as FedEx, generally to further away addresses like another metro area or state. All told, the total count of sortation centers will now be at 9, with these locations joining sites in Minneapolis, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Dallas, Austin, Texas, and Houston. And you fought really hard for this story this week. Why? Tell the audience why.
Because, Chris, I think it's important for the retailers and brands listening to this to see that Target is doing this differently than all the other retailers in the space. They are keeping this completely homegrown within their shipped brand. They're not testing with like 10 other third parties. Well, officially, I know we saw that some people
There's a lot of players.
There's a lot of players that are kind of trying to work around this, but they are constructing. They got this entire old Sears building to allow their whole like process and approach to sortation centers to unfold. Like the ship drivers are driving their cars in next to FedEx trucks. Like Target's talking about investing in their own delivery vehicles now. Like, I think that this is a model.
Let's be clear. Their own delivery vehicles for ship drivers.
For ship drivers,
so
yes.
The ship drivers, they'll still contract, but they'll give them the car to drive, the vehicle to drive, right?
Yes, that's what we assume here based on what the article or the statement from Target released. But it's so different than anybody else's approach. We are not seeing anybody else take this on completely in-house without another like few tests going on in the background. So I also am curious, like, we don't hear a lot yet about what kind of automation they're going to be using, if they're using automation at all to kind of pack and ship these orders. So I'm curious like what that looks like, or I would love to get a look inside to see exactly how they're going to be able to expand this and scale and to continue to get faster, especially as they build up more deliveries. Right now they're packing those shipped drivers' cars as full as they can, but once they start giving them delivery vans, like how are they going to continue to do this more quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I would absolutely love to get a look inside these buildings. I think that's something that's just been on my mind and your mind too for a while now. The part that I want to just make sure that we expand upon too is like, I think there's a lot of people peppering the edges with this idea, right? You know, Amazon's doing something similar. Kroger, I'd say, is doing something similar with their relationship with Ocado and their hubs, which we've talked, or their spokes or whatever the hell they call it, which we've talked about and ad nauseum. And Walmart's been, rumored to be testing things around this idea. But the point that you bring up that I think is really good is like Target is the only one as of right now that is using their own third-party gig delivery service, which they own, which is Shipped, and using this process to make those drivers more efficient in the long run. And that's really important. But at the end of the day, the way I summarize this for me is I think it's a smart interim step that retailers are going to start taking between centralized fulfillment, the large centers, and the micro fulfillment idea. I almost want to like coin it as meta fulfillment, MEDI, because that's what it is. It's like this middle stage fulfillment center that are bigger, can be properly located, and it just makes sense, especially if you can scale gig drivers to the degree that you're talking about, which you don't even necessarily need to own them to do this.
Right.
You could have any of the delivery gig services working with you in this way to help defray the cost and then save money. The other thing, the last point I make is like, this has got to be the brainchild of Arthur Valdez, the chief supply chain officer in Target. And I love anything that man does. And am I biased? Yes, I am. I just love the guy and would go to the wall for him. But yeah, that's kind of my take, Ann.
All right. Headline number 5. Amazon has said it plans to price match Tesco within its UK Amazon Fresh stores. The news comes by way of The Guardian, which said that Amazon Fresh started its Tesco Club Card price match campaign this past Monday, matching and freezing hundreds of prices in line with discounts by the UK supermarket giant. Russell Jones, the director of Amazon Fresh, said he hopes the pricing campaign will show how good our value is when compared with competitors. Chris.
Yes.
Are you like in support of the story? You were not quite sure when we talked about it earlier.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you opened my eyes to this story too. Yeah, I mean, kudos to you this week because I was like, what? We've talked about Amazon pricing a lot, especially in fresh stores. But, I think you hit on something, which to me, there's a new wrinkle that I'd never thought about before. And that's price matching actually is a weapon in and of itself from a data standpoint.
Elaborate.
So by that, I mean, like customers come in and essentially they come in and they tell Amazon, I want to price match this product. So by doing that action, Amazon now knows something they didn't know before, which is which items their customers care the most about, which means Amazon can match their prices in the moment, but more importantly, they can catalog that information and then use it to their advantage in the future to go really aggressive on price on the items that people care about. And that's really important when you start thinking about Amazon Fresh across the Atlantic, where electronic shelf labels are not as prevalent in grocers. And so they can pretty much say, I'm going to change prices now on your items that you care about. Oh, you're a week to 2 weeks out on price change because you're still using physical labels. F you, we're done. Yeah. And that's the way it goes. And so the price matching aspect of that is really important. And I can't wait to see it come out over here too, because it gives them tremendous advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the key point here for me was that the winner is going to be the consumer here across the board. They already know that it's already natural behavior to us when we're out shopping somewhere. If we see something we like, to go to Amazon and see how much it is. And usually Amazon can beat the price of wherever it is that we're shopping. I think this now tells the consumer that these new Amazon Fresh stores, especially as they start to expand in the US, are going to have the best prices all of the time because they are matching other competitors' prices. And I love your point about just the visibility that this is going to give Amazon about what other products their consumers are interested in and what other competitors' pricing is. They can then easily change them. Like I think what Amazon Fresh here, I imagine, is going to continue to use electronic shelf labels across the board to continue to be able to update this in real time. But the key thing here is that Amazon, with this ability, has solved cheap, fast, and now like if they can I'm curious to see if they'll like be able to do the cheap, fast, good Venn diagram. Will they be able to like get up to what consumers' expectations of a grocery store are, especially in the US? Will it be good? Will they be satisfied with the products that are on the shelves? I think they are, and I think that is a killer combo for Amazon.
That's a great point. I mean, lots of grocers have come and tried, and it ultimately comes down to the experience of the store itself. more so even than the pricing and the ease of shopping, when you talk about groceries. So that's the big thing. But yeah, you're right. They've got two of them essentially figured out.
Yeah.
And now the question is, how long is it going to take them to make a really good merchandised experience for shopping grocery? All right, Ann, let's do the lightning round.
All right, Chris, question number 1. McDonald's has free food deals every day this week. Did you know that?
I did, actually. Yes.
Have you gone?
No, I have not.
They are also, which I don't think you do realize, dropping a new clothing line from Kid Cudi. What is your McDonald's order these days, and can you name a single Kid Cudi song?
I'll take the latter to that one. The latter part of that one first. No way. Can I?
I didn't think so.
I think I was the one who pronounced it cutie a while back.
Yes.
And even this morning, I had no idea how to pronounce his name.
Not Kid Cutie.
Yeah.
That's not as street as Kid Cudi, but whatever.
It works for me. But my go-to is and will always be the Big Mac.
Okay.
McClintock Chargers through and through. All right. This weekend, I saw the greatest bumper sticker of all time, which read, "Honk if you would rather be watching the 1999 cinematic masterpiece, The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz." So, and it got me thinking, in honor of his current Renaissance, which is a real thing, look it up.
No.
What are your top 3 movies starring Brendan Fraser in ascending order of importance?
Well, none of them are that important because I couldn't remember all of the movies that he'd been in.
He's been in so many good movies.
But then I looked him up. Okay, so Airheads would be 3.
Okay.
Crash would be number 2. And number 1, Encino Man, Wheezing the Juice, Forever.
I have not seen that. I
cannot believe you've never seen Encino Man.
I gotta watch that this weekend.
So
I'll
good.
report back.
All right. Chris, SoulCycle started a program they're calling F It, Let's Ride Together, which allows a limited number of new SoulCyclers to exchange their Peloton bikes for 47 free SoulCycle classes. Chris,
yes.
Would you give up your COVID-purchased Peloton for this offer?
Oh, God, 100% in a heartbeat. Like in
God.
a New York minute, and I wouldn't even think twice about it, though my wife would probably absolutely murder me because she's full on drinking the Peloton Kool-Aid, and she knows what flavor it is. It's full on tropical punch, too.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
Yeah, but I would get rid of that thing instantaneously.
She would murder you.
Yeah, she would. She would kill me. All right, and last one. It turns out the potentially dangerous chemical compound in Skittles that we discussed last week is also available in many other products as well. Which of the following titanium oxide laced goodies would you least want to go without? Lucerne cottage cheese, which is really gross, Chips Ahoy cookies, or the always fun on Halloween Ring Pop?
I almost said Lucerne cottage cheese, actually. I didn't think that would be so gross to you, but it definitely is. I was disappointed to learn about the dairy products.
It's gross to me that that's in cottage cheese.
Yes,
that's what's disgusting.
Yes, for sure. But actually, the number one thing that I also, because I had to read this list to my children to tell them why I would never allow them to have any of these things ever again. And the number one thing that I was sad about, Trolley sour gummy worms.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
You like gummy worms?
The bright crawlers, like
God.
the sour ones. Oh, my God, I love those. But no more.
No more. My gravy. All right, that wraps us up. Happy birthday today to Sally Struthers, Scott Pelly of 60 Minutes, and Jessie Spano turned Nomi Malone herself, Elizabeth Berkley. And remember, if you can only read...
I'm so excited.
Oh, my God. We've lost it. If you can only read or listen to one retail blog in the business, make it OmniTalk. Our Fast Five podcast is the quickest, fastest rundown of all the week's top news, and our twice weekly newsletter tells you the top 5 things you need to know each day, and also features special content exclusive to us and just for you. And we try really hard to make it all fit within the preview pane of your inbox. You can sign up today at www.omnitalk.blog. Thanks as always for listening in. Please remember to like and leave us a review wherever you happen to listen to your podcast or on YouTube. And remember, if you're planning to attend grocery shop and you're a brand or a retailer, use our promo code RBOT1950 to register for grocery shop. That's RBOT1950. And of course, as always, be careful out there.
The OmniTalk Fast 5 is a Microsoft-sponsored podcast. Microsoft Cloud for Retail connects your customers, your people, and your data across the shopper journey, delivering personalized experiences and operational excellence. And is also brought to you in association with the A&M Consumer and Retail Group. The A&M Consumer and Retail Group is a management consulting firm that tackles the most complex challenges and advances its clients, people, and communities toward their maximum potential. CRG brings the experience, tools, and operator-like pragmatism to help retailers and consumer products companies be on the right side of disruption. And Takeoff. Takeoff is transforming grocery by empowering grocers to thrive online. The key is micro-fulfillment, small robotic fulfillment centers that can be leveraged at a hyper-local scale. Takeoff also offers a robust software suite so grocers can seamlessly integrate their robotic solution into their existing businesses. To learn more, visit takeoff.com. And finally, Sezzle. Sezzle is an innovative buy now, pay later solution that allows shoppers to split purchases into 4 interest-free payments over 6 weeks. To learn more, visit Sezzle.com.